Hey guys, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Shatzer, and today I've got an interesting Mexican flick lined up for us. It is Rafael Perez Govas's 1969 really strange flick. It is Santo and the Border of Terror. And if you haven't seen any of the Santo flicks, this is a nice one to start off with because it's not as crazy as the series tends to be. So let's get right into this weird one. Here is Santo and the Border of Terror. Santo and the Border of Terror is a wildly wacky and completely ridiculous south of the border adventure flick, which features Mexican wrestling superstar El Santo in an oddly fun and outrageously entertaining series of adventures. The film follows El Santo as he aids a beautiful young singer, a blind girl, and two down-on-their-luck friends as they get caught up in a nefarious plot by a diabolical man named Dr. Sombra. It turns out that Dr. Sombra is taking in undocumented workers at an American ranch in order to harvest their organs, but luckily Santo is on the scene to put a hurting on Sombra's operations. In all his masked glory, El Santo takes on Dr. Sombra and his army of lobotomized goons as he fights to bring about justice and free his fellow people from the corrupt elements of society. Santo plays himself in this oddity of a flick, bringing his trademark wrestling moves to the forefront as he rights wrongs and aids the innocent. Coming off as a superhero for the disenfranchised masses, Santo does an excellent job in bringing a larger-than-life presence to the role. Often soft-spoken and ridiculously pure of heart, Santo is a real treat in the hero role, and it's interesting to see this real-life Mexican cult superstar take on the bad guys in this fictional cinematic setting. Santo is such a cultural icon in Mexico, and it's been rather intriguing for myself, being an outsider to all of this, to dive into the lore and legend that is El Santo. Though comical and silly, you can't help but be swept up in Santo's heartfelt and genuine performance, and in my opinion, that really is what makes these films and Santo and the Border of Terror in particular so appealing. Another huge appeal of Santo flicks, in general, is that they relish in their low-budget flavor. Made on a shoestring budget, the scope of these stories and their relentless tendencies to bring unabashed amounts of wackiness and outlandish material to their productions often allow them to rise above their meager funds and create something wildly entertaining and completely unique. From Santo and the Border of Terror's scrupulous mad scientist Dr. Sombra, to the idea of harvesting undocumented workers' organs in order to make a quick buck, to the actual concept of a masked wrestler Avenger coming to save the day, you really can't deny the crazy that is on display in this film. It's off the wall and totally mind-boggling, and for me, that is the literal reason why I love these flicks so much. They play by their own rules and don't give a damn about the consequences. Rebellious as all hell, you have to appreciate this approach, and that is one thing that Santo and the Border of Terror does so well. Santo and the Border of Terror is a typical standard of the Santo series of films. Though not as outrageous as other entries in the subgenre, Border of Terror still manages to establish itself as a strange oddity of cult corny goodness. Headlined by the always entertaining Santo himself, and awashed in that low-budget flavor and otherworldly atmosphere, this is one film that definitely wears its heart on its sleeve. If you're a fan of the Lucha Libre adventure films, or just extremely curious to see what they are all about, then give this flick a try. It may not be the best example of the genre, but it is still a whole hell of a lot of fun. Santo and the Border of Terror is fantastic, frivolous fun. And guys, that is the wild and wacky Santo and the Border of Terror. Just a perfect beginner's entry into the Santo series, because this one's mild compared to the later ones in the series. So stay tuned for more Santo flicks, and that would be it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that review, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe. And if you have time, leave a comment below because I'd love to hear from you. But until then guys, I will see you at the next movie review. Take care.